Welcome to the Crypto Podcast. You can find all our episodes on thecryptopodcast.org. We're also on BitChute and YouTube. I also have the Awakening Podcast, Meditation Podcast, Speaking Podcast, and Learn Polish Podcast, and all can be found on royalties.com. Today, my guest, serial entrepreneur and basically crafting digital art in the virtual world. Please welcome Valentin Lefebvre.
Lefebvre.
Say it again?
Lefebvre.
Yeah, I just love the sound of French. It is so much. Yeah, it's a beautiful language. So I suppose you might introduce yourself to the listeners.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on your show. I'm pleased to be here. So as mentioned, we have created a digital design studio to create digital art. So essentially, we're creators. We're a design studio, design team, and we craft art that is then on a digital format, on a digital file for people to enjoy, collect. And so it's been a journey for the last 2 years. And recently we focused on the creating for the NFT world, where there's a lot of demand and excitement for collecting, transacting, and exchanging those digital art pieces.
Excellent. So before we delve into that, because I've looked at a lot of the stuff you've done, and it's actually very interesting because I've looked at a lot of the NFTs and it's like not really making sense to me. And I'm kind of going, I don't understand how people get excited, but looking at your stuff is totally different. But I'd like to just go back a few steps. How did you get into crypto? What's your journey in that?
So I got into crypto thanks to art. So I started this art journey 2 years ago in January 2020 when we had the vision to open a immersive art center in Miami. And so picture a big warehouse where we install projectors on the ceiling, and those projectors, they project images and videos on the floor, on the walls. So as a visitor, you come inside, you experience art that's moving around you. So that's what we call immersive experience. So we wanted to create a center like this in Miami and to showcase Creation's digital exhibition that we create from Paris. So the first was Versailles. And so I went to Miami and found a location, started raising some money. And we're talking January 2020. And then in March, everything stopped. So in March 2020, because of COVID. So it was a big blow because it really, put a hold on the whole project. So I had to go back to France and then wait and recollect the whole project to go back to the US in November 2020. And then I stayed for 6 months with the objective of finding a new space and new investors to make this thing start and happen. And as I was looking for a location, it needed to be large, long, well located, and so it needed a lot of money. And so as we found the location, we were not fast enough to sign it. And so I was chasing and running for the money, doing all those investor meetings. And I was showing the exhibition that we wanted to show. We had a demo of the art that we created. And the investors I show it to, they're saying, well, this is an NFT. And so we were in March 2021, so 1 year after. And I was like, what is an NFT? And they're like, well, you should study it and you should sell what you're showing me in an NFT. Forget your physical location thing, just focus on this. And so like, yeah, you don't get it. Let me move on to the next meeting. And I did that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meeting in a row where all the investors, they were saying NFT, NFT, NFT. So I'm like, okay, this is mad. What's going on with this thing? And so I started, learning and studying this NFT craze. And that was mid-March 2021. And when I started studying this, then the famous sale of Beeple at Christies happened. And then from there, it really blew up and put NFT on the map. And everybody was talking about this. So I was like, okay, we pivoted the whole focus of our initial venture of being a physical location, selling tickets for an experience, to creating art that we're going to sell as is on the digital world, thanks to NFTs. But NFTs, they're not a standalone thing. They come from the crypto world. So that's how I got introduced into crypto, because I was like, okay, I need to learn. I need to understand. I need to get what is blockchain, what is crypto, what is NFT, so that I can step into that game.
And you mentioned the thing with Christies, because I've actually seen that, but you might explain that to the listeners because they wouldn't be aware. Is that the same guy that was actually on Joe Rogan, is it?
I'm not sure he went to Joe Rogan.
Because I know there was some guy that was on Joe Rogan as well that's doing a lot, but I've seen the video of you might just explain to people about that Christies auction.
Sure. So it happened in March 2021, and it was a sale online, so fully virtual, of a single piece, a JPEG, an image that is a mosaic, so like a collection of many images of one artist called Beeple, so Beeple, and it sold at auction, and the final price was $69 million. So it's obviously a staggering amount, and it's a big event. So it blew up, and everyone was talking about it because who in the hell bought an image for 69 million? And why would you even pay for an image? Because you can send it and share it, and anyone can have it, right? So it really became a shocker to everyone that got introduced to NFT this way, because it was an NFT that was sold. And so essentially one person bought a certificate of ownership in digital format of one image, meaning the blockchain registered that this image is owned by this person who transacts via crypto. And that opened up the map for a lot of people that didn't know about those elements I just mentioned, including me. And so it opened up a lot of interest, a lot of research, a lot of studying. And we spent from March to all the way to our first sale that happened in 13th of October. So all those months we focused, studied, researched, learned all we could about crypto, blockchain and NFT to be able to get into this game in a solid way.
Okay, so because I've actually seen, I think it was a 3.4 Ethereum that it sold for. So you might just tell us the whole process, what it was, what exactly was your first project.
So as I told you, we come from the art world. So the artists that we plan to show in our exhibition with the projection on the walls and the floors, we went back to them and say, hey, actually we're pivoting. We're going to sell digital art online now. Are you in? And so one of the artists we started a project with, she said, sure. She was a little bit skeptical, but I convinced her that her art would fit very well because her art is beautiful. It's portraits of women and very colorful, a bit abstract, but very, it's very colorful. It's just gorgeous. And so we took this painting, took a high definition picture of it, did some editing, and then we added some movement, some motion design to it, and added some music. So it became essentially a new piece, a new art piece, a digital art piece as an MP4 because it's a video. And we sold that as an NFT online for auction on a marketplace. So it happened in the 11th of October all the way to the 13th. It was a 48-hour auction, and it was live. I did a YouTube live for the first hour and the last hour. And we just, solicited all our network of people we know, all our, contacts to jump in and check out what we're doing. And we started getting some bids the first day. And funny enough, the story, when we submitted on the marketplace, we paid to register it on the blockchain. But then as soon as it's registered, it's open for bids. And some people came and started bidding, whereas we wanted to start the bidding on Monday. And we registered 2 days before just to make sure that it was here. So the bidding started before we even opened up officially and announced it. And so I was like, this thing is out of control from the very get-go, And so it was a funny thing because it started like $200, like $300, and we're like, whoa. And then it went out to $900, and then it crossed. When I woke up the next day, it was 5,000. And so I'm like, okay, this is cool. And it went all the way up to, the last offer was 3.4 ETH, so the last 20 minutes. And at the time, it was equivalent to $12,300. That was our first sale as an NFT. And it was a lot of the first time for us because it was the first NFT, it was the first online, it was the first auction, and it was the first creation that we did for specifically this type of sale. And so
is that a platform that's specific for that, or was it your own kind of thing that you
it was
done
not
on?
our own. It was a marketplace that's called makersplace.com, and they're specialized in this. Their positioning is to sell NFT, and they're are curated, meaning you'd have to be invited to be on platform. They're highly artistic, quite high end, and very classy, because there's many marketplaces out there, even for NFTs. So this is what's crazy about this world. I mean, there's marketplaces for everything in the e-commerce, right? And some of them are very specialized, but it's true as well for digital art and for NFT. I mean, there's marketplace NFTs for memes, other for collectibles, other for music, other for high-end art, or for digital art, native art. They call it digital native, meaning it's only from tablets or from code. It's not from drawing or from art. And so our take is we come from the real art world, the traditional art world. We take a painting, we take a statue, a sculpture, a photo, a drawing, and we work on it by adding some digital elements, some motion, some edit, some music, a mixture, and we remaster it, remix it in a way, and to add some new value, so that the results, the end product, is a composed piece that is a new piece, and it's very welcome to the digital world. It's not just taking a picture and then sell the picture. There's more work to it.
Yeah, and just for those listening, I'll actually put up the link as well, both on the audio and the video. So, for example, there was a picture of, it looked like beautiful girl, and the hair, because I watched some of the videos. So apparently the art was with short hair, but she put in all the hair. But you can see the hair moving.
Yes.
Girl kind of winks at one stage, the mouth kind of twitches up, and there's nice music in it. It's something like, I suppose, if you've got art at home, you look at it and appreciate it, and you know, to look at that, I would say it's in a league of its own. It's actually, you know, it's more entertaining, a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, that's how we see it. In fact, when I discovered the original piece, the real painting, I saw it moving with my own eyes, and I'm like, let's make that what I'm seeing in my head, right? And so we are just adding another layer of art and craftsmanship and entertainment and value, as you mentioned, because it's another level. When you see it, you're like, wow, it's touching, it's moving, it's a whole other impression. And that's what we want to create. We want to create emotions from artistic pieces. And
with the platform that you done the auction with, then what kind of cut do they take out of it? Because I know, like, the likes of Christies, they take a lot out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, the marketplace we went through as well is very expensive. It's Makerspace. They take 15%.
Okay. And what's the kind of norm? Because there's obviously different ones, but
yeah,
if they're trying to be kind of invite only or high end, they're trying to keep away the fluff. And I kind of get that as well. Because
yeah, the high end are expensive. There's invite only, high end, created. Those are expensive. And then there's those who are just open bar, like everyone can go. Those are less expensive. It's like 2.5, less than 5%.
Okay. And
I do want to take a moment to mention the name of the artist, the painter. Her name is Lefebvre, and we'll put the links as well. And I fell in love with her art, and that started the whole journey, because she was planned to be in the whole exhibit location to start with a full exhibition of all her art pieces, and then she was the first one that we made the NFT with. So there's a long story and journey with her. And it's very touching, because she's a pure artist in the sense that she's a painter. She has her workshop, and she paints, and that's all she does, and she does it beautifully. She's a master painter. And we took that and brought it to the digital realm and added all this work, all this craft that you mentioned. And it's a beautiful collaboration between our studio and her initial beautiful paintings.
And like, how much work is involved? I mean, obviously the artist has the picture, you take over it. Is it a long process to create what you've done?
I would say it depends on every piece, and it depends on how quickly can we be satisfied by what we do. And so as an artistic realm, it can be very meticulous and always polishing towards something even more satisfying. So for this one, the first one, we took forever, like month, because we wanted to get it right for the first one, right?
And is the artist involved in the whole
Yes,
process
yes,
then?
all the way
Yeah.
to the end. She has validation for it. We wanted this because we all of us wanted, especially her, because it's her name, it's her art. So she wanted to be enhanced in every way, and not just taken in somewhere else.
Right. And like, because I've discussed NFTs, and to be honest, every single person that's come on the show, it's talking about something different, which is brilliant, because it's not just one thing. It just
That's the
means
richness of the show.
yeah. So you're looking at all the different things. So I believe it's 10% is what the royalties on that system that you have then for.
Yeah, so you're mentioning for the second sales, the sales after the first original sales, and depending on the marketplace you choose to be on, you could customize that. But on the marketplace we went through, it was standard, and you couldn't customize it, and it is 10%. Meaning, if someone else buys it to the first buyer, then us as creator, we will get 10% royalties on that second transaction. And on the third and on the fourth, on how many there is, for every transaction, for every future transaction and future sales, the original creator gets a 10% of that transaction.
Okay. And with the likes of something like that, then, because you have the artist and you've got your work, because I mean, your work is probably even harder than the artist to come by. Is that a joint venture that you do, or do you actually just buy?
It's a collaboration deal, right? Yeah.
Okay. No, excellent. Now, is it Silver Moon is the name of the company?
Right.
So you might tell me what Silver Moon came from.
So funny enough, and originally it was another name. It was a French name. The original physical place we wanted to create was called La Découverte. The issue with this name is that it's hard to pronounce if you're not French.
Just like me trying to pronounce your surname, yeah.
Right. So we had to change the name, just like bluntly. And the original logo was a moon with a sun. Like it started as a moon and it ended up as a sun, because I like the idea of the silver and the gold, the day and the night, the moon and the sun and everything. And I wanted to have a name that's easy to say, easy to write, easy to remember, easy to recognize. And I love this moon logo. And so I said, okay, let's simplify it. Let's just keep the moon croissant and have something, I'll call it something very simple that people can grasp and remember. And so and my favorite color is silver. So I said, let's call it Silver Moon, so that it really matches very well the name, the logo, and the simplicity of it. And it's actually very beautiful, like the moon. And we're creating something very meticulous and something shiny, something very artistic. And I think the moon is the best thing out there that describes this approach.
No, I love it, because simplicity and trying to remember something. That's why with all the podcasts I've done, you kind of what you're doing and you remember it. And
yep.
I think
it's a process. I mean, we always learn, and I discovered like people couldn't pronounce my last name and couldn't pronounce my company name. I'm like, okay, I got to do something about that.
Yeah. I've had that all my life. Most people pronounce my surname wrong. Doesn't bother me. I'm happy with just Roy, and it's all good. So I see as well that you've signed Hardcore in Paris. Yes. So they're like they specialize in kind of black and white pictures. And I mean, exactly. I've looked at your site and it looks cool. I mean, they're beautiful pictures. So you might explain kind of about that.
So Hardcore is a photo studio, a Parisian photo studio that is almost 100 years old. It was founded in 1934, and they were founded on the technique of black and white cinema to take photo portraits. And they just kept doing that ever since. And now they have a signature and they have a style that comes from that time and place. And so now it's iconic. And they started from the cinema world. So it was cinema people, cinema movie stars that came and take their portrait with them. And so it became something prestigious to have your photo portraits taken by the studio Hardcore in black and white with those lights and shades that remind the cinema time of the 1920s, and now they're a brand, they're a recognized brand within the artistic world, because it's only very famous and artistic people that come and take their photo portraits. It's like a thing to do and thing to have within your career. And so they have a beautiful headquarters in Paris. It's just a hôtel particulier, meaning it's a whole building with different floors. And they have a studio part, of course. They have a restaurant, they have an event place, they have a gallery, a showroom, and it's just stunning. It's just, chic à la française. It's the typical Parisian beauty gem that you will want to go and visit. And so we discussed with them, to give you the story, how we're in contact with them. We wanted to have a showroom within the physical location of the Immersive Center in Miami that would showcase their photo portraits, like an exhibition, a physical one. And so they were already in the deal from the start. And as we pivoted to the digital realm only, we went back to them and say, hey, so we're not going to have the physical showroom anymore, but we still want to have you on board because we choose your brand because of a artistic attractiveness. And so let's discuss what we're doing digital. And it turns out they have nothing digital. They did nothing in digital for almost 100 years. So we want to do something, but we don't know how and what and with whom. And so, we discussed and we said, we can sell your images, your photo portraits as NFTs. That could be the start. And then we're thinking of how to stage that, to put that in an exhibition, to showcase. And we said we should have a digital gallery to showcase your art. And we were sitting in this beautiful place and thought, let's reproduce this beautiful building. And so we went out and recreated the whole space in virtual for people to come and discover the pieces, the photo portraits that we're going to be selling as NFTs.
Yeah, and you can see that on the website where it's 3D and you can actually, pan around. And yes. I think you can do the virtual as well. I don't have the VR, but
you don't need the goggles. You can go online and then you can navigate and wander around. And that's the goal. We want people to come and experience and wonder and discover what we created and what we have. And that comes from back to what we wanted to create originally. Just initially want people to come physically, but now you don't have to. You can just go on the online website and discover the pieces and as well buy them from there.
And I'm not sure, is it with that then that they there's 200 pieces per each that they sell?
So so we're having a NFT drop, so meaning we're going to a sale, publishing for sale on the 6th of May. And at this date, people will be able to buy pictures, so 4 pictures at 200 edition per picture. So there's going to be 4 people that we selected, famous characters, and each photo will be in 200 edition, meaning you can buy 1 edition of each picture and you'll have within your collection those famous photo portraits of Harcourt.
And does that go as a set price then, or do you do it auction as well?
So it will not be auction, it will be a set price. We want to keep it low, but the ETH keeps going up. So we'll set a round price between 0.3 or 0.2 at the time of the drop. But we want to keep it low. So we didn't publicly announce the price because we want to keep that flexibility to keep it low depending on the ETH at the time. But it will be a set price of a set limit of a number per picture and 4 pictures that are already designed on the website.
And because I've heard with some of the NFTs, it's like Solana. Is it always ETH? And because with the whitelists or white paper, whitelist, yeah. Is it then that your key for your Ethereum you send because it says the wallet, or because this podcast is basically, it was originally kind of to expose corruption and kind of make people aware, but what I'm finding is there's a lot of actually experienced crypto people coming in, calling me and saying, well, I never knew that. So I'm just I want to cover both sides.
Well, it's always good to precise and explain in detail. So the whitelist mechanism is essentially a VIP exclusive privileged list of people that can come before it becomes public sale. So let's say I want to sell my Pokemon cards and I am going to sell it in front of my house and it's going to be public, anybody can come. But before I do so, the day before or 1 hour before, I invite a certain list of people that have been selected beforehand that can come to my house and pick before anyone else. So that's the idea of whitelist. It's like an exclusive VIP list that comes beforehand. So the day of the drop is the 6th, but the whitelist will have access 24 hours prior. And so to get on the whitelist allows you to come comfortably before it becomes open to everyone. And so you can mint and you don't have the gas wars, because the gas wars is when a lot of people want to do the same thing at the same time. They all want to mint, buy a piece, and hence they are going to register information on the blockchain. And so the blockchain gets too much demand. And so the price for the registration goes up because there's too much demand, right? Supply demand. So to prevent that, we have a limited number of people that can come beforehand and have the comfort of choosing what they want without having the risk of having a lot of people to want the same at that time. Okay. So whitelist is you need to register your wallet address so that we can take that and put it in the smart contract so that your wallet address is pre-registered, so that the day you come and you connect your wallet on the website, you'll be identified as someone that is effectively on the whitelist, and you get granted access.
So for somebody who's got, say, a Ledger wallet, is it the Ethereum thing, or does the wallet have a code itself?
The wallet has a private key and a public key. The public key is the one you put in. The private key you never share to anyone; it's yours. But the public key is like your information that is public and visible, so that people can trace your transaction and can take your information and put it into the smart contract so that you can be privileged access. So it is the public key that you share, the public key number that you share, so people can register that and put you on the whitelist. So we can create a customized code here for the crypto podcast, so people can have a collab code, because on the website, the link I shared you, we open up the whitelist, but not to everyone. You have to have a collab code, meaning you have to come from a community that is introduced to that project before anyone else, right? That's the idea of the being privileged. And so we create a collab code, the crypto podcast, all together. And so when you go and you register, you put your name, your email, you create a public key wallet and the crypto podcast collab code. And from there you register, and we'll get all the information, and we'll see that you come from that, because of the collab code, you come from that community. And so we can put you on the whitelist and reserve your spot.
No, excellent.
That's how it works.
No, brilliant. And because with like photography and normal art, I had a system before that an electronic device that was able to flick through my pictures that I had.
Right.
For something like that, like I've seen some picture, I don't know, was it on Instagram or something? You've got a beautiful frame behind the fireplace.
Yeah.
Is it? And I can see that it's got a wire to it. So it's possible to actually create something that, because when you get this, you can have it and that it's moving and even perhaps having the sound.
Yep, that's why we displayed and showcased on our first drop. We had a beautiful digital canvas and put a beautiful frame around it and put it on the wall, so it looks like a art piece. The difference is that it's moving, and so it's like a moving video, like a video art piece, right? And it was on the wall in your apartment, and so it really is in the same context as a physical piece that you would put on your wall like this. For this, we're just selling the digital piece. We're not selling anything physical, because what we found is that digital collectors, they have different preference of how to enjoy their collection, and most of them are not really into the physical aspect to it. And the physical aspect can really vary from size to weight to frames to, I mean, there are like a million possibilities. So we focus on the creation and the digital piece, and then from there the collector has like many options to go on his way to display it the way he likes it.
Okay, cool. And with the community then, I presume, say with the what's it called, the hardcore, that you create the community around that, so that basically anybody that really is, you know, into that's where you would be selling it as well within that community.
Yeah, so the community aspect is we want people that are going to buy the pictures, one of the 4 first pictures, they will they will have privilege, because when we'll this drop make available the gallery for people to buy the gallery, you will need to be a holder of a Harcourt photo to be able to buy the gallery. Because right now the gallery is just for you to visit, but tomorrow we will sell the gallery as an NFT for you to have your own digital gallery to expose and to showcase your collection. Right? So today, let's say you have like 10 pieces, but you don't have any beautiful means to display them, to showcase them. And tomorrow we are going to provide this solution by offering you a digital gallery, a showroom, a virtual showroom for you to show and stage your collection. You as a digital collector, you will buy this gallery, and so you can showcase what you have as a collector. And to be able to buy this gallery, you will need to have a photo Harcourt. So that's how we're providing value to our buyers.
Okay, excellent. And when you're kind of going into this virtual gallery, is that classed then as like the metaverse that you're going into?
Yeah, it is metaverse, because the metaverse is a virtual simulation world. And so taking from this definition, any experience that gets you immersed into a virtual world is a metaverse. And so it is one of the many metaverse that are out there. And it's just super focused on the experience of art and digital art as a gallery. That's where it's focused, and that's the use case.
Okay. And
so you won't have a sword. You won't be able to, to fight wolves and everything. It was just like, it's here to showcase art.
Yeah. I know. I mean, like from what I've seen on the website, it was very impressive. It was, it was beautiful, to be honest with you. The work that was done on it, you can tell there was a lot of work, very creative, but it's something that you could just keep looking at, one of these pictures. So that's why I was thinking, if you had something like that, having it on the wall.
Yeah.
Because, when you surround yourself, if you have your room clear of all, different things that distract you, but have some beautiful art, they put you into such a creative mind. And I think by investing in yourself, investing in something like that, one, it's beautiful for your visitors to see, but for yourself as well, it gets you into that creative.
Amen. I agree 100%.
Oh, brilliant. Listen, Valentin, thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. You might let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Sure. So you go on silvermoon.studio, and this is the website of our design studio. And there will be the link for the Harcourt Drop. So you go down, scroll, and there's the Harcourt Drop where you can get on the whitelist. And then it's contact@silvermoon.studio. You can find us as well on Twitter, on Instagram. And we have a Discord as well. It's always Silver Moon. You will find us. And the logo is a beautiful silver moon with a dark spatial background. So it's been a pleasure talking, Roy. I invite all the curious art lovers and digital art collectors to come visit our website to have a look. And if you are interested in buying, you can register for the whitelist and add the collab code called the Crypto Podcast. We'll put it on the show notes together. And I'm looking forward to seeing your audience connect with this beautiful project.
Excellent. Yeah, really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So that's all for the Crypto Podcast. You'll find all our episodes on thecryptopodcast.org. We're also on BitChute and YouTube. And as mentioned, all the links will be in both. And be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. Really helps. Until next week, take care.